So hello, this is me Ayush Patwal. So today we are going to create this procedural fire animation. You could use it on your models or just to burn nodes. So let's just start. Open Blender, delete the default cube, add a plane. Let's just give it a shape of a node. I guess this is good. Okay. Let's just go into the shading tab. I have already set up the whole Blender for me, so you should do your things accordingly. So I will just call it money burn, or you could call whatever you want. So money burn. What we will do is just first edit and we will unwrap it because I'm going to be using UV textures. So Control T if you have no triangular add-on enabled, and you will have these all here. Now I will just load the texture. You could download it from the description. I have given the link of these photos. So first I will work with this $100 note. As you could see, the UV editing is perfectly fine. If you don't have, so if your UV is wrong, you should adjust it accordingly. So this is our node, and now what we will do, I will just delete this mapping node because the image texture is already default UV based. So what we will do is this, we will separate the X, Y and Z coordinate, X, Y, Z, separate X, Y, Z. So let me show you what I am trying to say. So we have used UV, so wait, so let's just try first for UV for this. So for X, the gradient is from this in this direction. In Y, the gradient is from this direction, and in Z, because it does not have any Z dimension, so it does not showing. So we are interested in this X direction, so we will stay with that. What I will do, use a math node. I will use a math node, make it like compare. Now we have two values. As you could see, this value we will use it for animating this thing, and this value is for the width of the fire. So this is the width, this is for the width of the fire. I will make it like 0.5. Let's just play with it. So we have this. Now what we will do is add a noise texture. I will play it with it. It's a very powerful node. So we have the noise texture. Now we will add this into here. What we will do is just add a vector math node, and we will just put it over here. So what we are trying to do right now, this whole thing is a mask for the fire. We could use it for the emission purpose on this surface of the node. Yes, I am a bad teacher, so let's just, okay, so what we will do, add this node, and what we could do, we will add another because we will be adding other vectors into it also. So we will just put it over here like this, and we have something like this. The noise texture is appearing over here. Now what I will do, I will scale it. I will make it scale, and what I will do, I will just duplicate it and put this over here. And what I want from it, I want from it to subtract 5 from the main scale, so like this, and we will put it to subtract. So as you could see, we have the distortion in the what we call that, distortion in the noise. So I will actually use a value slider to slide both of these values. Pretty basic stuff. And this is for the distortion in the fire. So now we will make it a little bit like fire. We will give it roughness and a little bit that scattering in the fire, and this is for the detail. So the fire scattering, that is, you could control it from here. And let me just make it like this. Okay, so this looks good, I guess. and what I will do, I will distort this a little bit more, so like this will look good. And you could use this distortion also, but this you could use this distortion for purpose like if you want to simulate if you want to use this fire for rubber materials or polythene like stuff. So I will show you the result later when we will add the colors to it. So we have the basic mask for most of this stuff over here ready. So what we will do, we will just now connect this mask to a emission shader. So let's just use an emission shader, and what we'll do, add a mix shader node to add these both shaders. We will put this over here, and look at that. So what we have here, this is the basic note, as you could see. Then we have the principal BSDF shader for that. Actually I will increase the note for this roughness for this, because the notes are a little bit rough. And we will, and then this mask for this emission that we have created over here, this white is for emission, and we have add both shaders. This one is below that, and this is here. So what we will do, we will increase this according to our needs. Actually let me just make it to cycles. I am in rendered mode now, so 5 looks nice to me. What I will do, I will add a color ramp to give it color. So what it is, we will do in color ramp, so you could see this is white slider, so this will change the white color in this shader what we have created over here. We will make it like something like a fire. So I guess this looks like fire. Okay, so this stuff is this stuff is almost done. So now what we want, now actually we could control this animation from here actually, but the problem is that the node that is behind is not transparent. So let's fix that. What we will do, is that we will use a transparent BSDF for that purpose, and we will use another add shader. Actually let me use a mix shader over here. Let me use a mix shader. Okay, so what we will do, I will also delete this. I will use this instead of this. Actually in add shader there will be some sort of emission from the node also, that's why I am changing it. So this is mix shader. Now what we will do is we will create a mask that will give vector values that are greater than or lesser than, we will see which node we will use, to disappear from the viewport. So what we will do is over here we will take the value from the XYZ node vector, and what we will do, actually we will we could just duplicate this, and we should be using greater than, I guess, or we will see what is nicer. We will use this greater than and put that into the factor of this. So as you could see, we have now this part transparent. This is still a little bit the part is visible of the node. We will just figure it out. So what we will do, we could do what that we should just duplicate this, and let's just put this transparent shader over here, and what we could do, this greater than this mask on the factor, so the whole thing is gone. So now, so what we were seeing here, that at first we make that part of the part from this node invisible, and then we using this factor to make the part that was coming from this emission shader, we were making that invisible. So what we will do now is just we will use a mix shader. What we are going to do now is to give it a fall off, that black fall off. Let me just first show you what is happening. So if you could see, this was controlling this was animating the fire, and this threshold will control the visibility of that thing. Now what we could do is just give it a value node so that we could use this slider for both of them, put it over here and put it over here, and bang, look at that. Now this will be controlled from this node. Okay, so what we will do is now whenever the fire burns, there is a black fall off. I will show you visually in this. So let me make a mix RGB for that. This is going to go over here. What we could do is let me do this. Okay, so we have this, and this is a little bit fade, but let me just make it a little bit more fade. And what we will do, we will again duplicate it, and we will make this absolute. Yes, we will make this absolute and this subtract. This method is I have seen from I don't remember Iridium's tutorial. So this is value, and we will put this into absolute value, and we will put this in over here. So now we will put that into the factor of this thing. Okay, let's just disconnect it. So this is like this, and what we could do is map. So what is that? Let's just so we have this thing. Okay, so I want this same node to control the fall off of this stuff, so I will just put this over here into the value of this thing, and when I will change this value, the whole thing will look like this. So this will animate. So what I will do now is basically let me give you another functionality we could put over here, is that just before this we could use a vector rotate node so that we could rotate this line we have created. So this is pretty basic, this is great. So now this is the basic node setup for this. I am not liking the look of this fire, so let me just change the noise. So let's just make it like this, and let's just make it like this. And if you are in EV, I guess if you are in EV, if you are using EV if you are making this material for your game, so you will see this problem. So just go over here, and what we will do is in the settings menu, in the material tab, we will go alpha clip. Now the thing will be gone. Don't use alpha hash, or actually alpha blend. Don't use alpha clip, because all of them are able to finish our problem, because we have already done this thing. But if you are going in EV, just change this and the problem will be solved. So this is the basic node setup for this dollar. What we could do, let me just make another one for Indian rupee. We will change to cycles, and let's just make another one. We will call it 2000 rupee, and what we will do is just change this stuff from here. Let me just load the 2000 rupee texture. You could download it from like Google. I also downloaded it from there. So this is the thing. You could simulate the fire and all of that in physics tab from Fluids, Mentaflow, or you could use any other software for that, but this is just for fun purpose. This is for fast rendering if you want. So let me just change the look of this fire. Let's just see what we could get. So Okay, so yes, so this is it. So this is looking good, I guess. Let me remove the HDRI. I have preloaded everything. So let me just make a RGB. I just give it some strength. No, I don't want any strength. I will just use the basic things like, oh shit, area light. I will put it over here, increase the thing, and I will give it about 1000, and let's just see how the render looks like. So this is the render, and last but not least, we will use this monkey Susanna. So we have applied a subsurface division of level 4. Drop it, and I will just put it over here. We will give this another texture for this one. We will just give it material of this thing, and for this we will call it Bandar. That's it, and we will just do this, and now we could see this stuff. Now the main thing was we forget to animate the stuff. So what we will do, this value node is essential for that thing. We will just add a driver in it, write a simple code hash and a frame this and a frame, because this is for frame 1, means the value is from 0 to 1, so it will be very fast. So what we will do, we will divide it by like 40 or 50, whatever you want. I guess 60. Let's just see which value gives us a good answer. So now what we have, let's just go into, oh gosh, I don't have a good GPU right now, so that's why let's just see it in cycles. So as you could see, right now it's reversed. Let me just fix that also. So this is reversed. This is animating because we have just edited this material. We could do it for all of them. So as you could see, this is animating. What we could do to change it, we could just use an invert node for this purpose. We will put it over here, and let's just change the value for everything. We will use, so this is coming from their thresholds, and we will use this for the purpose of this also. And now what will happen, so as you could see, the problem is solved. Now it is going from this direction to this direction, and the same, let me just change this material from this to this, and this is done. Okay, sorry. So I want to change this material, press this, and for this. So if you are a beginner, this tutorial was pretty intimidating. If you are an intermediate user, this was a good tutorial, I guess, to learn node based workflow. And this is it. So last thing but not least, let's just animate this also, or people will just kill me that why didn't you burn Indian currency. So bad joke. Hash frame divide by like 60. I don't want to invert the whole thing. Let's just see in rendered view, and let's just make a camera for this stuff so that we could just render it. So this is the last thing, and we have put it in render. I guess I didn't have enabled denoising for render. Let's just see what will happen. So this is the basic thing for procedural burning of things. You could use it on everything. If you want to use it for your sister's head, I will be making a tutorial on that also. So that's it. If you like the tutorial, I am trying this new mic. So if you like the tutorial, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, unlike it, and subscribe and share it to your fellow bender mates if this looks helping to you. Bye bye.